Alright, vinyl community. Time for a collection update. This time CDs. I haven't done one of those in ages. So recently I bought a couple of CDs. I bought way more than that. All those, or almost all those, were auctions on eBay, and you can get this shit for next to nothing. I don't know if the prices will rise. Will there be a CD revival? I don't believe it, but hey, I want to have a physical media copy of my stuff that I listen to, so yeah, why not go for CDs? Narrowing down the vinyl collection a little bit. Yeah. I've got a couple of bands that I have the old stuff on vinyl. I had the new stuff on vinyl, but it felt wrong. I don't know, it's probably just me, but it didn't feel right. I had the old stuff in the 80s and the 90s, and when newer stuff came out, I bought the CDs, and then the 90s stuff was reissued on vinyl, and I bought the reissues of the 90s stuff that I originally had on CD. It just felt wrong seeing the vinyl on the shelves. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's probably just me. In the background, we're listening to a little bit of Exciter. This is their Thrash Speed Burn album from 2008. This is one with a guy called Kenny Winter on vocals, and I really enjoy that one. This is their second to last album. They've got one after that that is called Death Machine, and I didn't like the Death Machine album that much, but a Thrash Speed Burn is a great one, out on Massacre Records. So yeah, very cool stuff. So this first CD that I'm gonna show you, my friend Michael from Great Britain sent me that in a package. AC/DC's Blow Up Your Video. A lot of guys don't like that album. I have a special relationship to that one. That was the first album that I bought as a new one when it came out. I saw the Heatseeker video on TV. I bought the Heatseeker 7-inch, and when the album came out I bought that one. So I grew up listening to Blow Up Your Video. I still like the album. I had the vinyl version, and not too long ago I sold it. And then Mike and I were talking about Blow Up Your Video, and all of a sudden I felt the urge to listen to that again, and I asked myself why I sold the vinyl copy. So Mike said, look, I've got this CD version, and from what I understand, he bought the whole stack of the reissues, all the same versions that came out remastered and on digipack CDs with the story to the album and stuff like that. So he had the chance to get the whole package for a good price, and this was his spare copy. So Mike, thank you again. Great to hear it. I told Mike, I copied that on my USB stick for the car, and since I've got it about two weeks ago, I listened to the album 20 times. Still love it. At the moment I'm bidding on a vinyl version on eBay. Yeah, maybe I'll get it. Again. Next up, Terror Prevails Part 1 and Part 2. These are official releases, but they are not officially available. These CDs were part of the Rock Hard magazine. Rock Hard is a German metal magazine. Rock Hard is not a porn magazine, no. And this is from a gig that I have been to. It's live from Rock Hard Festival. And I've seen creators so many times. And this was one of the best gigs I ever saw from them. Playing to a home crowd, because they played in Gelsenkirchen, which is about a couple of minutes to walk to Altenessen. So it's right at the border. Gelsenkirchen and Altenessen are built together. So yeah. The setlist for that night, they started with The Pestilence, Hordes of Chaos, Phobia, Enemy of God, Impossible Brutality, Endless Pain, Pleasure to Kill, Terrible Certainty, Extreme Aggressions, Coma of Souls, Amok Run, Violent Revolution, Demon Prince, When the Sun Burns Red, Flag of Hate, and Tormentor. So a lot of stuff on here that they don't play anymore. Great gig, great atmosphere. Mille had a great day. Next up, friends of mine. I love a Savage Grace, especially their debut album. Savage Grace then did a reunion show in Germany, and Chris Lange, is that his name? I think so. He had a German backing band, and two of my friends were in that backing band. So they were writing songs for a Savage Grace comeback album, but unfortunately the Savage Grace main man decided not to work with them anymore. So they released, that is their debut. Under the name of Masters of Disguise, they released the album Back with a Vengeance, which sounds pretty much like Savage Grace. Band looks like that. That guy in the middle, this is Kali, the guitar player. He's a funny guy. Really, really funny. So yeah, if you want to hear a continuation of the first two Savage Grace albums, Back with a Vengeance. Where is it? I think they have a video clip for the song For Now and All Time, Knudsen's Return. So the guy from the initial Savage Grace cover artwork. And they did a second album as well. This is called The Savage and the Grace, which is pretty much the same. Yeah, it's just great stuff. Do check them out. They've got video clips. You can listen to the albums on YouTube, and if you decide to get them, do it. Now this one. This is a this is a bootleg. This is Cannibal Corpse with Created to Kill. Most of you guys know Cannibal Corpse started to record what became Vile in 1995, something like that, with Chris Barnes on vocals initially. So there's a demo version of most of the songs of the Vile album, but with Chris Barnes on vocals, a little bit different arrangements, different lyrics. And as a bonus, it has the very first demo. I think it's called A Skull Full of Maggots. I'm pretty sure it does. So yeah, nice one to have. Got that one really cheap on an eBay auction. As well as the next one. Unfortunately, this is not the original CD, but I'm not as anal with my originals on a CD, because some of those go for really crazy prices, and I won't pay 50 bucks or 80 bucks for a CD. Simply, I don't. Pathological Performances by Necrony. This is a great mix of early Carcass, speaking about the Symphonies of Sickness era and Swedish death metal, down-tuned. It's really nasty shit, bordering on grindcore sometimes, as Carcass did back then. Necrony, Pathological Performances. I cannot read the record label's name. Alright, this is a reissue on Records. That was not too expensive, and I really loved the album, but I didn't have it on CD, so yeah, there we go. Next up, some newer stuff. A lot of people think I'm only listening to 80s thrash metal. There's a couple of bands I really enjoyed from the, let's call it second wave or third wave that emerged in the 2000s, and Bonded by Blood is one of them. I like the riff writing, the songwriting of this band. American thrash metal. This is their second album, Exiled to Earth. A lot of conspiracy shit on here, which I enjoy. That is a hobby of mine, conspiracy theories. I've been into that shit for 25 years, something like that. I'm there. So, Bonded by Blood, Exiled to Earth. I'm not gonna talk about conspiracy theories here, otherwise my video would get blocked. This next one is a new one from 2025. I heard a couple of songs online. Yes, I listened to that shit online because their last album, I liked the songs. Sorry for my dry throat. Cheers. One more beer. I like the songwriting on their last album that came out about 10 years ago, something like that. But when I heard the album on my home stereo, I realized it was a drum computer. So I listened to a couple of songs of this album, the new Hyrex. It sounded good online. Again, it's a motherfucking drum machine, or really processed drums, or pro-tooled drums. The songs on here are good. This album has 9 songs, nice album length, song-wise. The album itself is 21 minutes long, and they call that an album. I was aware of that fact, so I didn't feel ripped off by the length. But I always feel ripped off with a drum machine. Any musicians out there watching that video, be it just by coincidence, fuck you with your fucking shit drum computers. Get a real drummer or don't even fucking do a band. Drum machines make me angry. Piss ads. And I'm not playing that. That's how I am. And especially bands like that. Don't fucking do it. Don't do it. Sorry for the rant. But I mean that seriously. That pisses me off. This next one. I've seen the... No drum computer on that one. I've seen that cover a lot throughout the years in my heavy metal history, but I never listened to the album. I don't know why. A German channel by a German guy, I should say a German heavy metal channel. He reviewed that one in a 2-minute review and I was convinced to try it out. So I listened to a couple of songs and immediately fell in love. So this is Titan with the album Rough Justice. So El Hostio, thank you. This is from the time around the new wave of British heavy metal and it sounds exactly like that. And you can really categorize them to a certain style. And you know, the new wave of British heavy metal, they had some speedy stuff, they had epic bands, they had bands more on the hard rock side that were a little bit, let's call it radio friendly, and you have everything of that on here. You have the speedy songs, the epic songs that later Manowar continued to do, and you've got the pop rocky songs. So if you haven't checked out that one, Titan, if you like the new wave of British heavy metal, do check out a Rough Justice. And this last one, that was probably the most expensive of the bunch. I wanted this for quite a while. But that is one of the CDs that is between 30 and 50 euros. And like I said, I'm not gonna pay that. There is a vinyl reissue that I won't get. And the original vinyl version is a picture disc. Not for me. Especially back in the 90s, picture discs in general sounded like crap. So I was looking for the CD and I was looking through eBay what was for sale or some auctions, and I found that Monstrosity's third album. This is, in my opinion, their best. It has the best songs, the best production, their best singer, yes, better than Corpse Grinder. And I won the auction for not even half of the price that it's going for. So I finally have the original version. On Metal Age Records, that was a short-lived German label that released the album initially. Jason Avery, their singer on that album, is just fantastic. The production is very, very natural. Is it recorded in Morris Sound Studios? I don't think so. yeah. That's all the info on, yeah. It doesn't say where it's recorded. I don't think it's recorded at Morris Sound. The drums sound way too natural. It sounds like a couple of microphones placed in the practice room. That's how it sounds. That doesn't mean it sounds bad. Where is it? Hyrex, fucking shame on you. They've done it right. Well, okay, that's 30 years before the Hyrex came out, but if you haven't heard the album, check it out. If you like Imperial Doom or Millennium or the newer stuff, but you would like to hear them with a more basic sound and great, memorable songwriting, fantastic drumming by Lee Harrison, try this one. In my opinion, it's their best. If I would do a Monstrosity ranking, clearly my number one. So, that's it. Sorry for the rant in the middle, but it just had to be said. So, yeah, nothing more to add than cheers. And fuck drum machines.